Let's get into Nick Reiner. The case of Nick Reiner has gotten really interesting because it's clear that he had murdered his parents. It's disturbing. And after you get past that, you would think the case is pretty much done. But there's this bizarre narrative that Nick Reiner is trying to go with where he believes that he's been set up. Nick Reiner doesn't understand why he's in jail even though he's been accused of murdering his parents. He claims that people are engaged in a conspiracy against him. Nick is supposedly aware of his crime, but he's broken with reality, and his expensive lawyer has resigned. He asked the judge to please allow him to withdraw, and he got out of there. Now it looks like Nick Reiner will be represented by a public defender, Kimberly Green, which is not great for him. He needs that expensive rich lawyer, but clearly he cannot even communicate.
On behalf of Orton Jackson and Quinn, and with Mr. Reiner's understanding and consent, would ask to withdraw as counsel of record based on the conversation that we've had in chambers and the explanation we've provided to the court in chambers. We feel that we have no choice at this juncture but to withdraw as counsel and ask to be relieved.
This comment reads, no one is paying his attorney fees. Family won't foot the bill, due process, and he couldn't get paid. Which I am glad that his siblings are not stepping in and trying to pay for his lawyer, because I was worried that there could be some weird world where they would do that. Nick made an appearance in court with a newly shaved head and sunken eyes, and he only spoke once during the arraignment. He said he agreed with the change in counsel. Following the murders, it was reported that Nick had been diagnosed with schizophrenia before the killings, and he had been having a switch in medication, which is part of the reason why he was going through maybe some psychosis at the time. We don't really know because we don't know what was happening in this moment, but we do know that the change of medications caused him to be, quote, out of his head. From my perspective, it looks like Nick Reiner is going to plead insanity, which is how he's going to be able to avoid the death penalty, but he will still be locked up somewhere. If it's not prison, it's a psychiatric ward. And it's not his first time being locked up in a facility. He was a patient in New Jersey, and it looks like the story is coming out. I feel like it's kind of Nick's way of trying to maybe convince the public that he could plead for insanity. At this facility, Nick found a huge rock and threw it through the window because they were not giving him his drugs. They ended up giving Nick some Wellbutrin after this big outburst, but it's interesting. Does Nick know what he's doing here? Is he trying to plead insanity because he knows he does not want to be killed? He would rather be locked up? Or is he mentally ill, or is it kind of both? Because it does seem like he's aware, but he's also clearly mentally ill. But is he making up this conspiracy part because he wants to try to plead insanity, knowing that that could maybe lead to that outcome? Let's get into Britney Spears. This headline makes me so sad because I was just dreaming of a Britney Spears performance, but she claims that she'll never perform again in the US, and for extremely sensitive reasons. Ooh, do tell. Britney posted a picture of herself sitting on a piano, and she wrote, "Sending this piano to my son this year. Interestingly enough, I danced on IG to heal things in my body that people have no idea about. Yep, and it's embarrassing sometimes, but I walked through fire to save my life." She continued, "I will never perform in the US again because of extremely sensitive reasons, but I hope to be sitting on a stool with a red rose in my hair in a bun, performing with my son in the UK and Australia very soon. He's a huge star, and I'm so humbled to be in his presence. Godspeed, little man." Britney did not name which son she was referring to, but she has two sons. She's got Jaden and Preston. Britney has previously described Jaden as a genius in March 2025, and she posted a video of him playing piano, so we could assume it's him, and that would be really cool if her children did end up, or one of them became a pop star, saved pop music. Britney Spears hasn't performed since 2018, so it's been 8 years now, and her final show was in Austin, Texas. Maybe she will be back to performing soon because she does need to make some money. It looks like she's been hit with a $600,000 tax bill from 2021, and lately she's been really living the life. Private jets, 5-star vacations, luxury rentals. An insider says that she's been footing the bill for her so-called friends who never seem to leave. The money has been flying out the door. When anyone tries to talk to Britney about her spending, she acts like they're crazy, thinking that she'll run out of cash. But unless there's some secret payday, no one can point to where the money is supposed to come from. Ever since Britney got her freedom back, I wanted her to go and spend her money and live her life, and it looks like that's what she's doing, but hopefully everything else is all right. Let's get into Justin Baldoni. There is going to be a trial soon, so we're going to start getting some answers in the Blake Lively Justin Baldoni case. So this is an email from Justin Baldoni to his agent. It's from December 30th, 2023. He writes, "Hey man, had a really bad week. Blake had the audacity to email me directly and invite me to a meeting at her house alone if I chose. She refused a body double, which now Sony and Todd have to jump in to make sure that happens because that's just setting me up for a trap, although she's making me have one. She has rejected all my storyboards for the SEX scenes, so he has to get involved because she's trying to keep all of both of our clothes on for the big love scene, which is just ridiculous if you know the book. The whole thing is just a gigantic cluster F, and yet I'm doing my best to stay positive, although it's been very draining on me and time consuming over this break to be dealing with an actress who is rewriting the writer and the director. I've gone through the whole script and I'm giving her 95% of what she wants for peace, but this is a brutal experience." I guess this is a piece of evidence that Justin Baldoni is going to use in court to show that he was really going through it trying to please Blake Lively as they were making this movie. This person writes that this whole thing has become so confusing for me, I genuinely can't sum up this case anymore. And one person pointed out that that is by design. Thank you for watching this clip from the Let's Get Into It podcast. To view the full episode, visit the link listed below.